I bought the cheapest 400Z in the world, but of course, there was a catch. The car was made up of 3 different crashed cars and I shipped it in a container from Australia. The car is 5 different colors, completely bone stock, and in 5 days, I'm going to turn it into the first 400Z drift car in Europe. That means it has to look good and drive good. We've got very little time, so let's get into it. Alright, so before we get to the mechanicals on this 400Z, we've got to get to the looks. And the car is, well, it was 4 different colors. It was red, yellow, silver, and grey. So that's not going to do. So I've taken the car down to Precision Tinted Graphics. Our good friends Jay and the boys are ready to dig into the car. When I say ready, they've had the car for the last 3 days. And this is the first time I'm going to see the car in its full new color. So what I'm going to do is go in and see the car for the first time, all in one color. Jay says it looks awesome. You're going to see what color I picked. And then after we show you the color, we're then going to apply the livery. Yeah, this car has been pretty much in pieces for the last 6 months and a multicolored machine. Does it look a lot more expensive now that it's all one color? We're about to find out. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks unbelievable. Now it looks like a brand new car, right? Now it looks like a brand new car. It definitely didn't look the part when it was 4 different colors. That looks like paint. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Yeah,
You good? Good. Oh, different machine than we dropped off, that's for sure. And of course, the car is at stock ride height and stock wheels and all that stuff. We're going to be changing that in this episode, but the first step was to make it all one color, and I went with white. White being the color because I have a little bit of a vision for the wheels and the livery that worked with white best. Also, I think it just looks really super clean. That's the kind of idea. I haven't seen too many 400Zs in white, so I thought it was like a cool factory look color because I wanted it to look like a brand new car, because it is a brand new car. And we've gone with yellow tints on the front lights, which don't make much sense now, but will make sense when we put the livery on. But how good does it look? And there's a man underneath the car. How are you, Ronan? Was it a pain or was it okay?
It wasn't too bad. We've had worse.
We've had worse. What he means is we've sent him worse. At least this car isn't half crashed, half cracked, and in bits like most of the drift cars we bring down here. But it looks absolutely sensational. So now that we've got it all one colour, our boy Robert from Square Design has done a very spicy little livery for it. And that's the fun part, Jay, is putting the livery on. Although it's weird with this car, because number one, this is the opposite of what I've always brought you. Because it's a brand new car, which we've never brought you before. It's usually in absolute ribbons, and we have to kind of use the wrap as load-bearing parts of the car. And the second part is, never brought a car here with stock wheels and stock ride height. So it's going to be weird because usually this is the last step, but we've everything done, like wheels, suspension, and kit and everything. This is now the first step. But the reason it's the first step is that I feel we're going to be up until 2 o'clock in the morning before the drift day to actually get the mechanicals working. So I've decided to do it the other way around this time. So we are now going to basically finish up the wrap, get on the livery, and we're going to do a couple of little touches. And I think it's going to look odd because it's a standard car with a livery, but when you see all the mechanical stuff and the lowering the wheels, it's all going to come together in the end. So this looks absolutely sensational. It does look like a brand new car now. It looks like something out of the showroom. It's very cool, very different.
Transformation.
I'm looking forward to the livery. I think it's a spicy one.
It's spicy.
Alright, so massive progress made. The car is now obviously white with all its black accents, and we've started laying on the livery. Not all of it's on there yet, but the idea was to do something quite old school, like 2000s Japan, but in kind of a modern way. So we've done the flames, we've done them in like matte black and matte grey because it's kind of a little bit more subtle. I think it looks absolutely savage. However, the big thing we want to do on this car was some chrome, because brand new car, very old style livery. We're going to see if it works. It should work. We're going to put a gold chrome over this. It's just a shadow at the minute, and then we've got another few little bits and pieces to finish up on the car, but it's turning out absolutely savage. So another hour or so and we should be done. Isn't that right, Jay?
That's it.
Another hour.
30 minutes, David.
30 minutes. It'll be a long day. So I'd probably stayed that side because I didn't want to see the chrome until it was on, but it's either like the make or break because it's so flashy compared to the rest of the livery. So hopefully Oh, that's finished it off delightfully. That's savage. Oh, that gives it such a pop. That's lovely. The only problem is now, as you said, like, needs the wheels and everything else, so it just looks like a standard car with a crazy livery. So now we need, although it gives us motivation to finish it now.
Absolutely.
Because I want to see what it looks like on the new wheels, lowered and all the rest of it, but it's
going
the livery's lovely. That's perfect, Jay. Perfect. Top job, as always. God, it's some transformation from what came in here 2 days ago.
So I rang Dave last night, told him yellow headlights not going to work. Did I or did I not?
It is.
I did. Was I right?
And in my defence, they don't work.
No. So did we take them off?
I think we take them off. I just wanted to show people that you could do yellow headlight tints. You're very good at it.
Now here's the problem. Do they come off?
I think it cheapens the front of the car a bit.
Yeah. I think black.
So here's a little top tip for you doing liveries.
Yeah.
If you've got a Silvia or an older Japanese car, the headlights are usually crusty and not nice. So you can put yellow headlight tint and they look brand new because it hides all the scratches. When you have brand new headlights, they look worse, I think.
Right.
Especially on this car. So I think I'm going to lose them.
Not really.
I got that one wrong there.
Was I right?
You're right.
Look
You're
at
right.
how fresh
was
that
way
looks
better.
now. Blaine, have a look at that. Look how fresh that looks. Dave Egan is not always right.
99.2% right on this car. And 0.8 was the headlight. Alright guys, the Drift Masters season has come to an end. That means that we've got some leftover stock from the season that we're willing to give you guys at an unbelievable discounted rate. If you want to grab the Falvey jersey, the man who finished top 10 in the championship, if you want to celebrate with us, grab his jersey. There's just a few of those left. And if you want to be sympathetic with Dave, who crashed into everything and needs lots of money for Kevlar, I'd pick up the Dave Egan jersey, as there's a few of those left as well. And if you're coming into winter and you want something a little bit warmer, we have got some, not a lot, of the Drift Games team hoodies left on the site. Very limited quantities, so grab them quick. And we've got some brand new stock as well, including the AZ1 hoodie and t-shirt. We have them in adult and kid sizes, along with a lot of new t-shirts and hoodies that you probably haven't checked out yet. So I'm gonna put a link in the description below. Of course, thank you guys for everything you purchase on the shop. It allows us to make videos like this. We exist because you guys support us and we appreciate every purchase. And thank you in advance for picking up something from the shop. Right, back to the build. Alright, so it's the next day, we're back in Wayne's and we got the car back from Precision Tinted Graphics. This is unusual for us because usually the car is finished at Precision Tinted Graphics, but that is not the case with this. We've done the aesthetic wrap on the car first and then we're moving now to the rest of it. So the reveal is going to be at the end of the episode because we still have tons of work to do and the car sits at standard ride height, which is poo. So one thing that we didn't show you yesterday was the front splitter is on the car. So this is a bit of a call we made yesterday, that we will put the front splitter on and wrap it in white to make it look like a body kit. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, why did we put a body kit on the car? Well, the reason being is that it's going to be a practice car, it's going to be a fun car, it's going to be something that's doing laps, it's going to get a couple of bings and bangs, so we don't want a very expensive body kit on it. And to be honest, the standard stuff on the car is going to hold up a lot better than any fiberglass kit that goes on the car. So we put the splitter on to make the front look a little bit lower, and one of the things we did was we wrapped white up to here. So usually the 400Z has black all the way down. We did white to make it look like it kind of has a very aggressive grille, which I think turned out really, really nice. So when this thing is slammed, it's going to look very, very cool. Right now, we've got my team, which is a ragtag team, because Wayne isn't back till tomorrow, of Gary, Dunn and Toby. So what we're trying to do now is do the interior of the car and go through all of the fuse boxes. So what we need to do, and what we've kind of researched, is we need to pull the brake fuse from this fuse box, which will essentially turn off. There's a stop system under the pedal in modern Zs, which basically means that if you left foot brake, it thinks you're accelerating and then crashing, basically. So it stops, it shuts the car down on ABS. So we're removing that, hopefully by the fuse, and then we have two control modules for traction control. They're in the center console, and we're going to disconnect them. Now we hope this works on 350Zs, 370Zs. It's a much more modern car. We're hoping when we can disconnect all that, it still runs and doesn't go into like a limpo mode. But at the moment, the boys are pulling out the interior because we have a couple of parts to fit. Hello, Gary. I've drafted the boys in today now, so they're in flying form with this one.
Well,
so Gary is our resident.
this is a stupid joke.
Gary, that's nice, Wayne. Very nice, Wayne. Straight into it. Gary's done a lot of Zs, right? So 350s. You haven't done a 370, have you?
No.
So mostly 350Zs. So some of it's similar.
We were telling me it's the exact same.
It's the same with a lot more electronics. So we're doing the interior first. We're going to do seats, harnesses, and then we have a harness bar because we're not putting a cage in this car. So we have a harness bar going in as well, and that should be bits and pieces, steering wheel stuff to make the interior basically drift ready. But we want to keep it kind of stockish because this is going to be a lap car rather than a competition car.
So you don't want this stuff taken out that we just took out.
If you can put it back in, that would be nice, but we'll see what we can do. So we're going to go at the interior first, and then that'll leave us with the last big piece, which is probably the hardest piece, which is suspension and wheels, and that should be the last piece. All right, we're going to dig into it. We've got a couple hours to get the interior done. I think it's going to be a big transformation, because the outside looks good, now it's time to make the inside look good. So even though this is a very modern car and I guess flashy, even though I bought it for very cheap, the parts are quite simple. They're the recipe for a good track car. So what we've got here is a harness bar. We're not putting a cage in this car, as I mentioned. Then we've got two seat rails. Now they're both from two different companies, Blaine, so I don't know. And they're right and left-hand drive, and whether they're right-hand drive cars or left-hand drive cars, I'm hoping that my calculations are right on these. We've got a boss kit, but none of this is the exciting stuff. That's in the van. Obviously we're going to need to change the suspension. One of the big things we do for every build is put some BC Racing BR series coilovers in the car. We run the ZX series on our pro cars, but the BR are really good for track cars or let's say drift builds or street builds. These are going to transform the look a lot because it's going to lower the car a lot, but also it's going to harden up the suspension a little bit so it doesn't have all that roll. So we'll get to that in a little bit. And I think my favorite mod that we're doing to this car is the seats. So these are the party seats from Option Drift. They're a UK company, and well, there's a big reason I want to put these in the car. This is an upgrade I'm really excited to do on the car. So these are the party seats from Option Drift, and Option Drift is a UK company, pretty close to us, and they've given everyone a really good option for putting cool, pardon the pun, for putting really cool seats in their JDM car or drift car or whatever, because they're pretty reasonably priced, they're very readily available, and most importantly for me, they're a little bit larger than some of the seats from Bride or Recaro that you get from Japan. Plus you don't have the customs shipping and wait time from Japan. The other cool thing about them is, which I don't think anyone's going to see a whole lot of it, is the glitter back on these. Red glitter. This is going to like make the whole interior of the car pop. So I'm really excited, and also we can put our harnesses through these. So if you guys want to get something similar, they have a ton of different colors and options and sizes. They're just a really cool company to deal with. They're in the scene in the UK, and they're just our boys. So we're putting these in the car. Thank you to Option Drift, and also I think Josh is putting them in the R32 too. So very reasonably priced. Check them out. Just have a little look, because they are definitely worth a look. Stupid joke. So the reason he is taking off the standard steering wheel is because it's bulky. When you're spinning the wheel quite fast in your hands, it just has so many buttons and stuff like that. Plus it's also not perfectly circled. So what we're going to do is replace it with a Grip Royal steering wheel. You can get these on our Drift Games Projects department on our website, and they are the go-to for all of our cars. I've decided this time to go with a very simple design. So this is the leather and black, and the reason I've gone with this with the black horn button is I think it's going to look quite factory, so it'll look like an upgraded factory steering wheel, and I kind of want to match the rest of the interior. Also, as you can see, it's a dish steering wheel, so this is really handy for me because I have long legs. It means that you can pull the steering wheel out a little bit with the boss, and you don't have the steering wheel so far away from you. So it'll still retain some of the factory adjustability. This and the seats and the hydro and everything is just going to be like a subtle interior upgrade. So I want it to still look like a stock 400Z, but with all like the little race bits. Alright, so before we put the seats and stuff in and we put the whole interior back in, Gary's just going to take it to the driveway and make sure that, as technical as that sounds, and we're going to make sure it spins the wheels. So before we did this, the car definitely wouldn't do a burnout. Now we're hoping it will do a burnout. If there's a burnout, it means that the traction control system is completely off. Second gear is good?
Second gear's good, yeah.
So first gear does it?
Yeah, it does, yeah, as well.
Okay. Perfect, that's good. That's a success. We have a skid machine, I think. But now we need a lot more other stuff, but it's doing something. Alright, it's the next day and Wayne is back. Yay! Wayne's back to save the day. He was on a stag party yesterday, so we were concerned about Wayne's enthusiasm today, but it looks like he's absolutely in top form, which is unusual. So we took the diff out of the car. It is an LSD in this car, but it's kind of variable. Like we watched it when it did the burnout, it kind of spins one wheel, sometimes it doesn't spin, and it's not ideal for drifting. So just to take, because this isn't a street car, we're going to weld the diff just to make sure it locks every single time. However, I want to show this. I don't think we've shown this before. Look how clean this car is underneath. It's a brand new car. Like, Everything in here is absolutely brand new underneath, because remember, it's in a much hotter country, so it's probably never seen salt on the roads, it's never seen any of that. So it's absolutely from the factory perfect. But there is some speed sensors on the diff, we've removed those. Every time we see a sensor, we're just pulling it out and we're hoping that the car still runs, because we don't want anything electronic interfering with the car when we're drifting. So we're going to do the diff. We're going to put that back in, we're going to put in the BC Racing coilovers, and then we have an angle kit from wisefab for the front. So we're going to put all that in today. We have a couple of other bits to button up. We also have a big issue with the exhaust plate. It's too quiet. So I'd love to get Neil to make me a very, very fancy exhaust for it, but Neil is currently in the other shed working on the R32. So we've got some back box delete pipes just for the time being, so it should give it a bit more of a rasp. So I'm excited. This is kind of a big step now when we're going to see the wheels, the suspension, the exhaust. It's going to get a different noise, different look. It's going to be exciting. We only have about, what, 5 hours to do it, so I'm going to stand around Wayne giving him Red Bull just to push him along. Toby, what's motivating Toby? I'll get Neil to fix his exhaust on his Starlet if he gets it done today. There's some motivation now. We're all hyped up for today, so let's dig in.
There's nothing there to weld. That's enough.
So we started off with, we're 30 seconds after that intro and everything was like, yeah, and then we realized that the LSD that's in the 400Z is like a clutch pack, so it's not very simple to weld you can't weld it really actually. Now it'll work, so worst case scenario, I can still drift it, but it doesn't lock instantly. It sort of has a clutch pack, so it kind of rolls in. So what we've decided to do, because nobody's done this, we've got a 350Z diff here, and we're wondering, will the internals of a 350Z diff fit a 400Z housing? Let's hope Nissan were really lazy and didn't change anything bar that internal of the diff. So we're about to find out. This diff, if it worked, would be 20 years older than the car. Yeah. But still the same kind of thing. So that would be it'd be very cool if it worked.
If it was.
That's wild. It's the same ratio in a 350Z from 2003 is in a 400Z from 2023. Same ratio, same everything. We're taking out the good technology that's been developed for 20 years to put in old technology that works, which is always what we do in drifting anyway. That's very cool.
It is.
So now, drift games, breaking ground. No one's ever done that before. So if you have a 400Z, you can take, and you want, basically you can pull out all the ABS modules, traction control modules, and the car will drift. But the diff is terrible, which is what everyone found, that it wouldn't drift properly. But you can put a 350Z internals into a diff housing from a 400Z. You heard it here first. I'm not sure who will ever be in that situation, but if you are, now you know. Alright, so we've realised that Nissan, in their impoverished last 20 years, have basically had an approach of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We reckon that a 350Z gearbox, prop, diff, shafts, everything, nearly the suspension, everything I'd say is exactly the same as a 350Z. The only thing they changed was they upgraded the internals of the LSD, put speed sensors on it, and that's all they've done in 20 years. So Wayne, with absolute positivity today, thought that would fit, and he was right. So now we have a fully locking diff in the car, and I think, Wayne, that's the reason nobody's drifting these anywhere, is because the diff is so unpredictable. Now we have it locked. So let's get this in, and let's get to the rest of the back end of the car. Alright, so as I said, no time to make a fancy exhaust for this. We'll do that another day when Neil is free, and basically this is just to make the car louder. This is not to make it any faster or better. It's just, we're getting rid of the back box on the car, replacing it with some tips and just some pipes. It's cheap kind of eBay buy, so hopefully gives it a bit of a wrap for the weekend, because the car was like silent, so I just can't be dealing with that. So we'll do a proper exhaust another day, but this will do us for the weekend. Alright, so we've deleted the back box with our very cheap temporary fix, and the car made no noise before, so there was no need for a before and after on this because it was just silent. So now we're going to see if it sounds a bit more like a drift car. It might sound terrible, might sound good. I'm not confident. It's not bad. It's pretty good. You're expecting that VQ noise like a 350 or 370, but it's obviously a twin turbo. Actually sounds nice.
It's cold out there.
Yeah, when it's warmed up, it won't rev when it's cold, so should sound pretty good. China. China. Our car a lot louder. Yeah, so we're going to do proper exhaust on this down the line, but this is just because I couldn't have a silent car going around. the track. It just doesn't feel right. So now's the exciting point of this build. What wheels and tires are we going with? And to me, there was always one vision in my mind since we got the car, and it's these. It is the Strom DS45. I think this is the nicest design they have on the market at the moment, and they have a lot of designs, so that says a lot. We did it in white because the car is white. I want it to be a very fresh look. These have obviously got a super concave in the 10.5 as well, so it's going to look really aggressive on the back. And we've wrapped them in Accelera 651s from Tire Streets UK, which are probably the best drift practice tire ever made. They last for absolutely ages. They consistently hold their grip, so this is going to be the perfect package for this car. And I'm wondering how long they're going to stay clean, because white is a hard colour to clean. But for you guys wondering, these are the wheels that won the Drift Masters Championship this year, so they're definitely going to be up to the task of me putting them on a practice car. So let's get them fitted to the car and see what they look like. Do it! Absolutely perfecto. Look at that. The white on white is the move, isn't it? So like big dishy rears. The fronts, we're gonna have to be a little bit more conservative with because we're putting an angle kit on there. But I was worried about the backs being too wide, but it looks like the 400Z can take a 10.5, ET15, no stress. One of the cool features that actually I wanted to show you guys, because it's quite cool, from Strom, is that on some of their newer wheels they have this groove on the inside of the lip of the wheel, and the idea is that it actually grips the tire when it's on the rim. Now it's not that necessary for our 400Z, it doesn't have that kind of power, but if you're in the Supra, for example, with 1,000 horsepower, sometimes the tire can actually move independent of the rim because you have so much grip. So this is to counteract that on the front and back lip. So very, very cool. Stops debeating as well. So Strom always trying to push things forward and make things work for professional drifters. And of course, they won the championship this year, so it's obviously proof in the pudding. And you can see that the shed is full of a lot of random stuff. So the trucks just got back, we've unloaded those. Supra's back, LZ's car's back, because they're getting prepped and ready amongst everything else for the LZ World Tour in the UK and Ireland, which is next weekend. So yes, we have 2 events in 2 days in 2 different countries. The LZ World Tour in the UK is completely sold out. The LZ World Tour in Ireland it's nearly there, but if you guys want to buy tickets, go to lzworldtour.com or Mandela Park to grab them. We've got a ton of stuff going on. We've got Even Flow, he's coming down, and I don't even want to say what he's coming down. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard he's going to do at the event. James Dean is doing a halftime show, which he said is going to be a bit special and a bit nostalgic, so I don't even know what that's about. We also have massive names coming, like Luke Fink. Luke Fink's going to be driving the Lowbrain car, reunited for the first time in, that must be what, 7-8 years, but we need to put an engine in that, but anyway, you'll see that next week. And the Supra, it's going to be driven in the UK by Jimmy Oakes, and it's going to be driven in Ireland by Josh Holdsworth, because remember we did the contract and I have to uphold my end of the deal, so he's going to drive that. LZ is obviously in the E36, and we've got a host of cool cars, crazy stuff. I think Suzuki-san's even bringing a drift Ferrari to Mandela Park along with the UK. Just go check it out. There's so much stuff going on at that event. I would be here for an hour telling you about it, but it is the last big event in Ireland this year. I don't know if we'll ever do the LZ World Tour again. I have no idea, so this could be your last time to see this absolute madness on track. So grab your tickets, and yeah, that's just reminded me of a lot of work to do on all of this stuff next week. So when we finish these cars, it just continues. Anyway, let's get the 400 done, because at least is a short finish line, and there was a longer one next week. We're getting all of this back to A1. Alright, so next up is our suspension, and one of the biggest things you need for drifting is angle, and the standard lock is pretty awful on these. So we have gone with our good partners wisefab. There's a full angle kit for the front of the car. We also have a rack relocation kit, but we're not going to put that in just yet, just due to time scale, and it's a lot of cutting and welding, but we will do that down the line. We'll also put wisefab in the rear, because I think we're going to end up with too much camber when we lower the car, because it has to look cool. But this kit is amazing. We obviously run it on every single one of our cars, and I think the top 20 in Drift Masters are all running wisefab, so it shows why everyone does. Best stuff in the world. Is it a bit overkill for this car? Maybe, but I would like the steering to feel similar to my Pro car. Obviously this is a practice car that I want to have the wisefab on both to make sure it feels the same. So we're going to throw it in the car, and our big worry with this kit is how wide the wisefab makes the track on the front. So we're hoping that we went for a smaller 9-inch wheel on the front, so that it creeps in between the arch. If it doesn't, we're going to have problems, but we've gone for a 235 front tire, a 9 on the front. Hopefully it fits over the caliper. So this is probably the last hurdle. If we get this in and there's no issues, we're ready to send her. so we started this as a build-off, which I should have mentioned earlier in the video, which was a week to build 2 drift cars. The boys have.
What a stupid idea that was.
They don't look as enthusiastic as they did the last time we saw them.
No.
And one is a different colour.
Any hints?
Any hints? So the boys have been working on the R32 for the last 5 days. Mine is now, like, I'm not gonna say it's finished. There's still like an hour on it tomorrow, but it needs a bit of alignment. But I think aesthetically and interior and everything else is done. And I'm gonna take tomorrow off. You boys can't.
What's different than that?
Now I would come down and help them, but it's the rules of the game. Like, I can't get involved.
Do we get your team? Because
Yeah.
No, you
we
said
get Jay down
you've been on the
here, we
bench
get
all week,
Wayne.
we
get
started.
Toby.
Did we not start with saying
Jack.
I get other help and you have to do it between the two of you? So I'm just saying right now.
You didn't say 10 other people.
Yeah,
you
well,
said
also-
Jay and Wayne.
I only use Jay, Tommy, Toby, Gary, Jay, Ronan,
With Jay's team.
Jay's entire team. That's all I used.
So you played like FIFA manager.
Yeah. I got all my team together and I was the manager, and the manager has produced the
What
car.
did you do?
I bought the car for cheap, which is the most important thing, ordered all the parts and cleaned it at the end.
Good job.
Alright, anyway, I want to see their honest reaction, because I think, right?
We've not seen this. I've
No, they haven't seen it.
literally been blindfolded every time I've got to go into the garage to wash my hands.
And
So-
it's
so
a
we-
really good maze.
What I want is an honest reaction, a fair reaction, but also I know that everybody watching this video will have thought the R32, which I'm sure will look nice, they gave no opportunity to the 400Z. All the votes online on Instagram were 90% to the R32. I think it's the nicest looking 400Z in the world.
There's only about 5 that have been modified.
That doesn't matter. I think,
And that's 3 of them.
and that's 3 of them in that car. All right, stay there. You ready? Say hello to the 400Z for Drift Games, boys.
I like the gold.
Chrome, boys.
It does look nice. Is that the wisefab on?
Wisefab's on.
Off.
Yeah, Wisefab on.
And it fits under the arch.
Yeah, with a lot of camber.
That's
DS40.
not that much camber.
We had to put a spacer on it to clear the caliper, and then
That's
we
wisefab and a spacer.
Wisefab and a spacer.
I'm a bit annoyed. I thought that was going to be your fallen.
It looks
Yeah.
like a street car.
Yeah, that just looks like it's been spaced out to fit.
Yeah, and it should work fine.
That's
Back,
annoying.
to be fair, we did a 30mm on the back just to give it a bit of. I didn't want to go lower because the lower we went, the more it was cambering, and I wanted to kind of keep as much tire on the ground for a bit of grip as possible. And we did a back box delete.
There's a lot of wheat here.
Did you get any flies?
It's my idea. My idea. Wait till you hear it.
Should we decide that our car's done?
Yeah, that car's doing it.
Can't take the 350ness away. Well done, Dave.
Yeah, that's good.
And team.
Well done, Dave.
Mostly team. I was going to say,
I bought it for 11 grand. 11 grand. That's the biggest thing about it. This car done is cheaper than your car. So what I'm going to do is let you guys decide. Can the 400Z be beaten by the R32? I suppose they don't know. They haven't seen the R32. Big pressure, boys.
Oh, no, I think we
I'm
have
voting for the 370, 400, whatever it is.
Raider.
It's a 400Z. Josh, come on, get with it. It's a brand new car.
I went through all of
Went
it.
through all of them. So we have this thing wrapped up and ready to go. We got a little bit of alignment, some Mobil 1 top up on the fluids, and then hopefully this thing. We don't know how it drifts though. That's the other thing. We've just pulled everything apart. All right, so boys have seen the car. Thank you to the many people that have helped. Massive thank you to Jay and the guys at Precision Tint and Graphics, which is probably the biggest transformation on the car with the color change in just 2 days, and then the livery. Thank you to Strom Wheels. They did absolutely unbelievable on the car. Thank you to Wisefab for the suspension, BC Racing for the coilovers, Option Drift for the seats, and GK Tech for putting 3 cars into 1 car in Australia, selling it to me cheap, so now I can have fun with it at the Juicebox event this Sunday. The car looks absolutely spectacular, and thank you to all of my beautiful people, to not Josh, Wayne, Toby, to Gary, to Tommy, to Trevor, to everybody who helped along the way. 5 days from complete stock street car in a container to, I think, one of the nicest looking 400Zs in the world. But let me know what you think in the comments below.